Hello guys, this is Victor and I'm back with another exciting tutorial right here on FL Studio. It has been long I make a tutorial for YouTube, I've been a little bit busy and some other things, but full time I am back. At least we'll be expecting like 2 videos in a week. And one of the things I just want you to do for me right now is just have a comment on each of my video. Tell me what you want and I'll be at your doorstep. I promise to give you the best, deliver the best, and tell you what you don't know and put you through. Just ask a question, just request for a tutorial, and I'm right here with you. So in this tutorial today, what we are going to be doing, we are going to be learning how to mix a very calm, smooth sounding vocal, just like Johnny Dre type. That is what we are going to be into. I don't know if you know Johnny Dre. Johnny Dre is an Afro artist right here in Nigeria, Lagos. So right there about it, let's just dive into it and see what we have on going on and see what we are going to be mixed. So I'm going to play the sound for you, mix. So I think what I'm going to do is that I'm going to get rid of all the plugins at first, so we will listen to it. Let me just get rid of all the whole plugin. So we'll first of all listen to it on how it sound raw without no auto-tune before I put back the plugin, so that we know what to do and what not to do. So let's take a listen to the raw vocal so that you listen to how the mic bring out the sound. So let's go.
You got me with you, I will take you with me to the end. You got me singing, I will take you with me for the night. Everything we share is just amazing. The memory just got me going.
Recorded by the artist, and I think it's very cool and very clean by the record. So let me add all the whole plugins that we have added before and see how it sounded after mixing. Okay, let us play it and see.
You got me with you, I will take you with me to the end. You got me singing, I will take you with me for the night. Everything we share is just amazing. The memory just got me going. Yeah, and I will never let it flush out. Yeah, and I will always stand beside you. Yeah, you got me falling down for you. You got me thinking hard for you. All my body ginger me, all my body skis. Things I never know, you should just to let me know. I never know. Oh, 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 yeah.
I just love the way it sound, and it sound very, 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 very good. So now what are we going to do right now? We are going to like dive into it and see what. So a mixer track here. So what I'm going to do in this mixer track is that I think I have a vocal box here where I send all my vocal to. Sparse to say, this vocal doesn't have a backup vocal, so there's no much work done, just very simple. So I'm going to be getting rid of all the plugs on it so that we can see. I'll get rid of the reverbs and also the delay. So this is where I send my beat to. I have nothing, I didn't do anything, no EQ on my beat, so I think the beat is, I'm cool with it. All I just did was just to automate my beat. I turned down the volume a little bit to be able to match with my vocal, to be able to give me the space to be able to work with it. So let's take a look at what we have. So for now, the first thing I added to this is my Autotune, just as normal. So I use Autotune 8.1. and this is what we have here, Autotune 8.1. so what I did here was to just find the key to my beat. Yeah, find the key to my beat. That is one of the first steps that you would take when you are about to mix a song. So I think I have a tutorial on how to find a key to a beat down there. You can go and then try to like go through it and see how you can find the key to your beat. That's for the beginners. So what I did here was, after finding my key, I think my key here is E, so I have to put it on E. Then my scale is major, I have to change it to major. So I have to change my input type to it auto tenor. You can change just to low mi, just depend on the kind of vocal you want to mix. So that is it there. So after changing that, all I have to do was just to change my return speed. So what this return speed does is that I'm coming, let me try to like, okay, I'll take it here. So let's be listening to what we are doing. Okay, let me bring it more closer to it.
You got me with you, I will take.
So you can see the way it sounds with the auto-tune. So now let me say this return speed. The meaning of the return speed means how much auto-tune do you want to add to your vocal. So okay, let me take it all the way down and see. Let's play it and see.
You got me with you, I will take you with.
So per se right now I don't think the auto-tune is working, so let us bring it up a little bit, add a little more, add it down to, let me say, down to 6 or something. Let's see how it sounds.
You got me with you, I will take you with me to the end. You got me.
So I believe you heard the way it sounds, so let me add more of the auto-tune to it and see how it sounds.
You got me with you, I will take.
So I think I'm okay with the way it sounds. So what I did next was to humanize it a little bit. So the meaning of this is that I added some humanization to it to make it not to sound robotic. That is the reason why I add this. You can tune it up the way you want. So I just added a little bit of it because the auto-tune was up to 3 years, so I have to bring it. It's just by choice. It depends on you, it depends on the producer, depend on the kind of vocal you are mixing. Sometimes I don't normally touch the humanizing, so but this one I want it to sound very natural and very cool and clean. So that is all about our auto-tune. The rest of the thing here, I didn't touch anything concerning that in this vocal. So what next we have to add to our vocal is to add a Fat Filter Gate Pro. Adding a Fat Filter Gate Pro is not by you not having the plugin. What you can do, you can find any denoiser. Okay, what the Fat Filter Pro does is that it removes background noise from our vocals to make it sound very clean. So even though you don't have this, you can still have other denoiser on your system that you can use to denoise vocal. So this is what the denoiser works on.
You got me with you, I will take you.
So you can see what the denoiser is doing.
You got me with you.
So after throwing the denoiser on it, I have to touch my ratio to -42.27 dB. That is to try to like get the accurate positions on where the noise is coming from. So that is it there. So that is what I actually did there. So that is all with the denoiser. I didn't touch more. Once I touch the threshold and I am okay with it. Sometimes I touch the ratio, but for this vocal I didn't touch anything concerning that. So the main work here I think is on the EQ. So let's get right to the EQ. So what I did on the EQ here was just to remove the low rumble aspect of it to 156 Hz. So what I did was to just like play it and drag it, and then I stop.
I will take you with is just.
So what this is doing there is to remove the rumbles, just some kind of low plosive, some kind of low sound, some kind of bassy voice that we don't really need. That was what I was actually trying to get rid, because in this mixing I don't really need a bass voice. I want to get rid of a little of it so that I can have a little of it. So that was the reason why I did that. So when I did that, I wasn't still satisfied with it, so I have to come to this place, try to look for the bass sound here. Let's take a look. That is the voice I'm trying to, that is the kind of sound I'm trying to like get rid. So I have to duck it down a little bit this way, not too much, a little. Then I came to this place also, I have to play it silent and play. There's a sound there I don't really like, so I have to bring it down. The same thing that happens here. There's a sound here I don't really like, so I have to bring it down a little bit because I am not satisfied with the sound there. So I didn't touch much about my EQ, so I came to this place, I did the same thing here because there's normally a sound here I don't really like. So I have to get rid of it, and I did the same thing here also. And I don't really like this sound, so I decided to bring it down to this position, and that is all about my EQ. I didn't do much about the EQ, so that is all about my EQ. So what next did I go into? What next are you going to go into when you're mixing, compressing? So one of the major thing I did about this compressing was that this vocal was something very, very simple. There is no much work, there is no need to stress yourself too much. There's just some simple basic. As long as you can record your vocal correctly, your mixing will be very as simple as you think, as you want. So what I did here was just, I did not actually try to play with those things here. Sometimes I used to go to a preset here and I will select the vocal, then I'll go to the pro voice over BM. I'll go to it and I'll select it. When I select it, this is what I get. So I didn't touch anything. So let's play it and listen to it with the compressor.
You got me with you, I will take you with me to the end. You got me singing, I will take you with me for the night.
So if you think you want to know more about compressing, I think I have a video concerning compressing on my other video down there, so that you can go through it and see what compressing is all about. So that is all about the compressing. So if at all you want to have a special tutorial about the compressor, I have a special tutorial for it. So that is what I do about the compressor, touching the threshold, the ratio, the attack, and so on. You can play with it yourself. So now what I did next is to add another compressor, just as normal how I normally have mixing. This compressor I have to work on it myself. I did not add the preset to it, so I decided to work on this myself. Touching the threshold of the compressor, so I have to bring down the compressor, the threshold to minus 18.8 dB, which I have to do 1.9 on the ratio, like to gain the compressing, and then I have to gain the compressing here, the volume which I have lost in the ratio here in 1.8. So now the attack here was for 49.7. so when it comes to the release aspect, I have to release this in 25.6. Most importantly, what I do here, I have to turn my distance here from hard vintage down to soft/R Pro. That is how I like to make my vocal not to be too harsh, because this vocal need a soft tone, so I have to add that to it. That's what I do about the compressor, and that's all about the compressor concerning this vocal. Now the next thing I have to add was let's listen to it and see how it sounds, what we have done so far.
You got me with you, I will take you with me to the end. You got me singing, take you with me.
So the next thing I have to add was to add an OTT plugin to it. Is a multi-band. So what I do here was I don't use this to compress. No, some people used to misunderstand this and call it a compressor. I don't use it to compress. There's a certain kind of sound that this OTT normally gives to me that I like. It's a free plugin though that I like, and that is the reason why I stick to OTT. Sometimes I use it in my vocal. So let's take a listen to how the OTT sound with it.
You got me with you, I will take you.
So let me take the depth up and see how it really sounds.
You got me with you, I will take you with me to the end. You got me singing, I will take you with me for the night.
So I have to add a little of it to the vocal, just a little of that sound that I turned up just now. I have to add a little of it to it because I like that sound. So that is what I use the OTT for in my mix. So now the next thing that we are going to be talking about is how we can saturate our vocal using the FL filter compressor. So one of the things I do with the OTT the saturation plugin from the FAT filter is to just go to transformer and then add the one transformer to it. After adding it to it, I have to touch my drive a little bit. You can drive it to listen to it and drive it. So most especially what I do again is to come to my tune here and try to play my vocal and play around it to see what I want to get rid of and what I want to saturate. Let's go.
You got me with you, I will take you.
So you can see I have to bring this to mine down a little bit. There's the high frequency of it. I don't want the vocals to have so much high frequency, so I have to bring it down to minus 1.79, and I come to this place. I have to change it to minus 0.55 dB. Then to this place I have to add it a little bit to plus 0. So here I didn't touch anything here. So that is all about my saturation, and that is how I saturate my vocal. So let's take a listen to what
you got me with you, I will take you with me to the end.
I think it sounds very perfect. So the next thing I have to add was to an air plugin from digital. So what I have to add here was to just add a little air to my vocal. Let's see how it sounds when you add an air to it.
You got me with you, I will take you with me to the end. You got me singing, I will take you with.
So you can see the work of the fresh air. So I have to just add a little bit, like 28% of it. Let's take it all the way up and see how it sounds, so that we can see what it's doing. No, I'm coming. Let me change it to 28 to match up. No, let's take a look. Sorry. Okay, let's listen to it and see how it sounds.
You got me with you, I will take you with me.
Taking it all the way up. Taking it all the way up to see.
You got me singing.
Now let's bring it down.
I will take you with me for the night. Everything we share is just amazing.
I think I'm okay with this 26 aspect of it. I think I'm okay with this. So that is it. So next I have to add was what these air plugins do. Fresh Air does is to just add some air and some space and some oneness to your vocal. That is what it does, to remove some kind of harshness on it. So the next thing I have to add, all these plugins I'm using, most of them are free, so you can get it yourself, but this Fresh Air is not free. So one of the things I have to add, this plugin is also free from FL Studio. So it's a fruit soft clip. I use it to soften my clip of my vocal. Let's listen to it and see.
You got me with you, I will take you.
I'm sure you can listen to the way it sounds and the way it was very soft. I have to remove some peak using this threshold here and the post here to like play around it to remove some peak out of it to see how it sounds. So maybe in my next tutorial I'll be missing from scratch, so we'll be following up, be fighting, battling together to see how we can arrive at good vocal. So let's play it and see.
You got me with you, I will take you with me to the end.
So that is the work of the soft clip. So don't mind me if I'm rushing so hard. I don't want the video to be too long for you to know, but I have other videos that you can go through in details. You get in details of what we are doing. So next thing I have to add is to add a DSR to my vocal. I know most of you know what the DSR is all about. DSR is just to remove some S sound on our vocal. So let's take a listen.
You got me with you, I will take you with me to the end.
So what I did about the DSR is just to touch the threshold to minus 24.99 dB. I just drive it down to that place, and that is all I did about the DSing. So let's take a listen to what we have done so far about that, and let's see.
You got me with you, I will take you with me to the end. You got me singing, I will take you with me for the night. Everything we share is just amazing.
So since we have our vocals in good shape already, so the next thing that we are going to add is to add the delay to our vocal. So adding a delay to our vocal, this is what we have to do. Okay, let me sidechain it. So I have to like click on my main vocal here, then I'll come to my delay box where I want to send my delay to, then I'll right click and then I'll say sidechain to this track. After sidechaining to this track, I will come again and press on reset. So when I reset, what is going to happen here is that, let me take this volume up so that we can start afresh. Then I'll go to my delay, add my delay to it. I use a delay tool from FL Studio here. So when I come to my delay, I'll turn down my dry down this way. I'll bring it down. After bringing it down, I have to right click, set to first step depending on my BPM. So after setting it to that, I have to play with my cut here to some minimum. That's all I did with my delay. So it sounds.
You got me with you, I will take you with me to the end. You got me singing.
So now you can see the way it's mixed up, the way it's very scattered and everything. So what I have to do here is to just add an EQ to it, an EQ2 from FL Studio, and bring down the low aspect and the high aspect of it. So let's listen to it and see how it sounds.
You got me with you, I will take you with me to the end.
So you can see the way it sounds. You can see that the delay is trying to overshadow the vocals, and that is not what we want. So I have to turn the volume down. The reason why I have to do this is because I want to I want to have a control over my delay. So I have to turn it down a little bit. Let's listen to it when I turn it down and see how it sounds.
You got me with you, I will take you with me to the end. You got me singing, I will take you with me.
So you can see the way I have to bring down the volume a little bit to try to match up with my vocal. So the next thing that we are going to add next is to add our reverb to it. And adding a reverb to it was as the same as what I have to do with the delay. I have to sidechain my reverb to my main vocal, the same thing that I have to do there. That is what I have to do. So let's take a look and see how we can do it. Now I have to sidechain and then reset it. After resetting, I have my reverb here, and I also use a reverb from FL Studio plugin also. So this is the reverb I use, and this is how I have to set it, expand it a little bit, the size of the room and the speed and some other things, play with it and bring down my dry here. Most importantly, bring down all my dry down, just like the way I did in the delay aspect. So now let's take a look and see how it sounds with the reverb. Let me tone down, let me raise the volume of the reverb up.
You got me with you, I will take you with me to the end.
Now you can see the way the reverb sound, and that's not what I want. So after I'm done with the setting here, I have to go to this place to try to control my reverb. Let's play it and see.
You got me with you, I will take you with me to the end. You got me singing, I will take you with me for the night. Everything we share is just amazing. The memory just got me going. Yeah, and I will never let it.
So that is what I did with the reverbs. You can see the way I have to reset to see the way it sound. So after adding a reverb, I have to add another EQ to it, which is an EQ2. I have to take down the low aspect and the high aspect of it, so that it will feels like there is no reverb present on it while there is reverb. So let's take a listen to it. EQ.
You got me with you, I will take you with me to the end. You got me singing, I will.
So you can see the difference, and you can see the magic that has been performed. As you can see, most of the plugins we use here is sometimes free plugin. There is no most purchase plugin here. Some of those plugins are free, so that is how I have to use this plugin to achieve what I have today. So let's take a listen to the music from the start to the end. So let's take a listen.
You got me with you, I will take you with me to the end. You got me singing, I will take you with me for the night. Everything we share is just amazing. The memory just got me going. Yeah, and I will never let it flush out. Yeah, and I will always stand beside you. Yeah, you got me falling down for you. You got me thinking hard for you. On my body ginger me, on my body skis. Things I never know, you should just to let me know. I never know.